Here's Brody Brazil.
Look, I can definitely read the room here on YouTube. I fully recognize that most of you watching this channel are very interested in the A's staying in Oakland, right? But I also recognize there's those of you out there who are maybe from Las Vegas, you'd love to see the A's relocate, and you're interested in these videos and the developments and how things are going. Totally understand it. What if I told you, though, that for as much as those two sides oppose each other, there's actually something they can agree on, and it is a worst-case possibility for this entire situation, including the A's and Oakland and Las Vegas and Major League Baseball and its owners and a potential vote. There is a worst-case scenario here that could play out. It's not entirely impossible. I don't know if it's likely, but it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. That one thing that both sides would absolutely despise. What is that worst-case scenario? It's simple. That Major League Baseball does not approve, does not deny, or does not decide on any ultimate A's fate by January of 2024. Like, they let this slide another couple months, which inevitably is going to only have it not be decided on for a few more months after that. And we all know the process is already at least 7 months deep, seriously, in Las Vegas, since back in April, the A's turned away from Oakland, put all their focus on Nevada. But what if it comes to a situation that baseball, for a couple different reasons, which I'll get into, does not have an ultimate decision on this? That would be bad. And yes, I'll explain later on why that would be bad. I think you already have some ideas on it, but first we need to dive into this. So how could that happen? Isn't all of this lined up? Isn't all of this right around the corner? Haven't they been talking about this for weeks and months? Isn't this the plan to come to a vote? There's a couple different scenarios here, 3 in fact, of how this could happen that we don't actually even get a resolution in mid-November or even December or even through mid-January, which, by the way, I said January because that's when the A's need a binding agreement on a brand new home. If they don't get that, that's why it's been their deadline, their hard deadline here to get this done by January, mid-January 24, because if they don't, they are off baseball's competitive balance tax, essentially revenue sharing. It's where the highest spending teams pay a little bit because of their tax and their spending. They pay that tax to the lesser spending teams, like in this case, the Oakland A's. But if the A's cannot secure a new home by January 24, they are off that program. They no longer benefit from it. So the A's are the ones that are on this urgent timeline to get it done. But what if baseball, hypothetically, just isn't ready for a vote? They don't want to take a vote for some reason, or they don't have all the information they feel necessary to take a vote for a certain reason. But they say, you know what, we will eventually do this, just not right now. So obviously, they're not going to deny this relocation application, but they say, hypothetically, you know, part of it here is that we don't know where you're going to play those temporary seasons at the temporary location of 25, 26, and 27. And if you don't have that on here, we can't give you an ultimate answer. But let's say that that takes another 6 months, and the A's ultimately do figure out a temporary site and home for those years. We'll take the vote then. So when is the vote? March or April of 2024? And this lingers on basically for another 5-6 months? It could be that baseball owners just are not ready to vote for one reason or another. And kind of their comment is, well, you know what? We're just going to punt on this. Meaning that they will get the ball back. They will try and make a decision at some point, but they're going to let this drag on. Yeah, and you can already understand why, from a baseball sense, this is not good. From a fan sense, this is not good. A decision on this would benefit everybody, honestly, sooner than later. I'm not sure that time is going to buy anybody an ultimate better choice. Maybe it buys baseball a safer choice. And honestly, maybe that's why a vote could be delayed. Baseball owners say, well, we're intrigued, but we can't exactly sign off on this yet. So again, it's possible this could drag on longer. There's also the hypothetical here that baseball approves the move. They say, you know what, you can absolutely go, but only on the condition that public money comes along without any contingency. That SB 1 and the $380 million that was passed in the legislative session, that the A's are guaranteed that for their stadium. That's the only way that this moves forward. Well, guess what? That's a big controversy right now. There's the group out there, Schools Over Stadiums, the educators and teachers in Nevada. They are against that public funding. And they need 102,000 signatures collected by next summer. And if they get that, there will be a referendum vote on the November 2024 ballot in the state of Nevada. And all that needs is 50% plus one vote to shut down this $380 million. So we won't officially know that is entirely gone until November of 2024. That's a year from now, which would already be about a year and a half since the A's said they're turning all their focus away from Oakland and on to Las Vegas. A year and a half. What if that happens? Are you telling me that's unrealistic? I'm not saying it's absolute, but I'm also telling you it's a possibility that baseball approves the move without any public money contingency, so that it has to come, otherwise you can't go. Yeah, basically you can go, but only if you get that public money. And look, we know the A's, they've said in the legislative session back in June that if they don't get the $380 million, they will seek other options. They will look for another market. They will try and figure something else out. But guess what? That starts the clock and all of this effort and work in Nevada from scratch, somewhere else. And we start the process all over again. Imagine that as a delay. So that's definitely important to baseball and the A's that they get the money. You could see how with the uncertainty of the money, without knowing for sure that it's going to happen, it's a serious threat, right? There's a lawsuit against Schools Over Stadiums by one of the A's lobbyists. So Rob Manfred said the other day how seriously they are taking that group and that movement, that it would be a serious setback, serious adversity to the project. There's also a third idea and possibility here that baseball approves the move, but only with a relocation fee, and also the grace time to come up with that money and to consider if the A's still want to move forward with it in that fashion. I don't know if this is the most likely of the three, but baseball asking for $300 million, why wouldn't they? Right? It's been said by the commissioner on multiple occasions that there would be no relocation fee. So what if the owners say, well, actually, you might have spoke ahead of us on that one, and we would like to collect that, but we'll also give the A's the benefit of time to figure out how they're going to come up with $300 million, hypothetically. Because look, we know if 380 goes away from the state of Nevada, 300 is also a sizable chunk of money that they were planning on having, now they wouldn't have as part of this relocation process. So what if baseball says, okay, we'll approve this, but it's on you to come up with $300 million. Take 6 months to figure it out. Oh my goodness. Here we go again with more of a delay, more of a pause in this decision and process and uncertainty, and it just gets super messy as we go on. So those are 3 ways it could happen. Here's why indecision is the worst. Number 1, you've already got confusion and frustration among current Oakland A's fans in Oakland, but potential A's fans in Las Vegas. I've heard it said, and it's been clear to me that down there right now, there is some interest in the A's coming down, but not a tangible amount. And even those who are interested in just any kind of old baseball team, they're not actually sure what's even happening right now. They heard all this fuss about public money back last summer, then they haven't been hearing much, and I totally understand right now why the process is quiet. The World Series is going on, but there still needs to be a ton more information coming out about how this would actually happen. But if this carries on, right, this silence, this lack of moving forward, lack of decisiveness by baseball and the owners and the process, if this carries on for more months, which it could, that's only going to have more confusion and more frustration by people in Oakland and by people in Las Vegas. Essentially, you are messing with the current market and where the baseball team plays and Good luck trying to draw fans for the near future in Oakland, or business or sponsorships or partnerships. That only makes it more difficult to move forward if there's not decision on this. In two places, right? The place that doesn't even have a team yet, but also the place that is desperately trying to keep it. It also, if you think about it, like that's the outward look on it. Even the introspective look by baseball, it only hurts the A's and baseball as a business to keep things in limbo. I think the A's would obviously love to start selling merchandise in Las Vegas and maybe even pre-sale season tickets down there. Like they love to move forward on business interest down there, but they really can't do that unless this is approved. Or if it's denied, then they can go start the clock somewhere else. I don't think the delay, while it might be viewed by baseball as their prudent thing to do and the owners across the board, I don't know that a delay here is in the best interest of a majority of people involved in this process. And I'm talking about everybody. Fans. How about players? Do you want to sign a 3-year contract with the A's right now, hypothetically, if they were giving one out? Like, where are you going to be playing in 2024? Oakland, you know that for sure. What about 25 and 26? Do you have to move twice, move your family to Oakland, and then move them again somewhere else? That's a lot of instability from just the player standpoint. Nobody's really talking about that right now. They figure, oh, they'll just play anywhere or play where they're told. It's not so easy. That's going to impact the A's ability to sign people. Indecision in this, it's already been tough enough, right? It's already been so difficult that something was announced back in April. May, June, July, August, September, October. We're basically in November now. Yeah. And we still don't have resolution on this. Maybe it's 2 weeks away. Maybe this video is totally outdated in 2 weeks. But maybe in 2 weeks, you find out that, wait, the owners' meetings came and went, and we didn't get that decision that we were expecting. So I think it's a worst-case possibility for, pretty much everybody involved. If there is no ultimate decision, no approval, no denial on the fate of the Oakland A's and this relocation application. You made it here to the end of the video. You know I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so I can definitely see you back here next time.